Where's the next superstar coming from?
You're getting a bonus tonight. Twilight doubleheader.
This is possibly one of their biggest races of their career.
It's young drivers who are development drivers for big cup teams that are in these cars.
One of the next heroes is in one of those races tonight.
This is the spotlight for them tonight. Live on Speed.
It's the NASCAR K&N Pro Series East, live on Speed from Richmond International Raceway. Tonight's race, the Blue Ox 100. 36 cars at the ready, near 70-degree skies. Let's go trackside for the command.
Race fans, it's time for those most famous words in motorsports. Please welcome Mark Jensen, Vice President of Sales and Marketing, NTP Distribution.
Start your engines.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Richmond, this racy three-quarter mile that plays host to the K&N Pro Series East tonight. Mike Joy, Phil Parsons with you. Past series champion Joey Logano is going to join us in just a little while. What a great showcase tonight is, live on Speed for these racers.
It really is. We have such a lot of great young talent in this series. We have Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney. Jesse Little will become the youngest driver ever to start one of these races when they throw the green flag. Chad Little's son. But it's a great opportunity. All the cup owners are either here or they're watching on TV. So they're watching these guys. Our future stars are right here in this division, Mike.
Now, 100 laps is not a long night's race, but given the rules in this series, it could be.
Yeah, a lot of times they have a halftime break where they can come in, change tires, make adjustments. Not tonight. 100 straight laps, 75 miles, whatever tires you start the race on, you're going to finish on them.
Are you going to have enough fuel?
And it's close, too. They let these guys top off the fuel tanks because they're a little bit worried about the fuel because of these big carburetors on these V8 engines.
All right. It's about to unfold here on Richmond International Raceway. Glad to have you with us live on Speed. Speed's presentation of the NASCAR K&N Pro Series East brought to you by AutoZone. For the auto parts and advice you need, get in the zone. AutoZone. Ready to race in Richmond. Let's join Hermie Sadler.
Well, thank you, Mike. Anytime you strap in a race car, it's all about winning. But two of our drivers tonight are also getting some experience to make their Nationwide Series debut tomorrow night here at Richmond. Ryan Blaney, the son of NASCAR star Dave Blaney, starts 22nd in the field tonight. And also the 99, Travis Pastrana, makes his much anticipated debut in the Nationwide Series tomorrow night. He rolls off fourth tonight to try to get a big win here at Richmond. Off to my pit road partner, Bob Dillner.
Hermie, two young hotshots in this field with a lot of history in NASCAR. Starting 10th tonight, the son of former Cup champion Bill Elliott, 16-year-old Chase Elliott. Keep an eye on him. And then in the third starting spot, the grandson of the founder of NASCAR, the number 96, Ben Kennedy tonight. Both these guys have finished top 10 in the only two East Series races so far this year. Those guys are planning to stay up front here tonight at Richmond.
Getting ready to go green, and green flag is in the air. We are racing for 100 laps. That is Brett Moffitt in number 11 from the pole. Kyle Larson from California in the 6. Kennedy and Pastrana. As things sort out of turn number 2, single file the first 3. Everybody else at least double wide in the backstretch.
Yeah, we'll see a lot of 2 and 3 wide racing. There's Chad Boat. He was one of the fastest cars in practice, the 98 car.
Another second-generation driver. Brett Moffitt in a Toyota leads the first lap in his Camry.
Nelson Piquet Jr., that 17 car right there, one of the first guys to venture up to the top side of the racetrack.
Yep, battling Corey LaJoie in the 07. Down underneath is the 99. That's Pastrana.
Great qualifying effort for Travis.
Yes. They continue to run side by side for 5th place.
Nelson Piquet Jr., the 17 car, 1 for 1 in the series, won his only start ever at Bristol.
With LaJoie looking on, and now going to the bottom of the racetrack. They continue side by side for fifth.
And there's a little bit of room on that front stretch. If Corey was to get it run while those two cars were running side by side, he could make it 3 wide.
Behind LaJoie, Godovic, Darrell Wallace, and Chase Elliott rounds out the top 10.
Coach got trouble. Chad Boat, the 98 cars around.
The Curb Records Fight Night, number 98 for Chad Boat. Billy Boat, of course, IndyCar racer. And we're under caution, just 4 laps in at Richmond. Here's a happy day, 2007, and the fellow sitting to Phil Parsons' right was in the seat that day, celebrating what was then the Busch East Championship. Now it's the K&N Pro Series. Yep, that's Joey Logano, earning his first major NASCAR championship, getting congratulated with Mike Helton. Does that seem like a long time ago?
I tell you, it does. I feel like I'm getting old now.
All right, ready for the restart after the first caution. Chad Boat spun, but he's able to continue. And from the point, pole sitter Brett Moffitt takes off with the lead from Kyle Larson. Once again, Pastrana looking in on the bottom. Kennedy's there. LaJoie a little further back, running with a 17 of PK.
Good restart by Ben Kennedy. Side-by-side battle on the inside. Kyle Larson the outside with the 6 car.
Kennedy's the Blue Ox car. In third, number 96. And right with him, Ryan Gifford from Tennessee in the number 2. Then Pastrana underneath PK, and they continue their side-by-side battle from before the caution flag. While we were under caution, Chuck Buchanan was on pit road with the hood up. Also pit stops for Derek Randstrom and John Salemi. Bob?
That caution was brought out by Billy Boat's race car. Chad Boat, his son, in that number 98. And Eddie Dickerson, the crew chief on that team, told me he just got way too loose. The problem is they think they have flat spotted those tires, but they cannot make a pit stop and change those tires unless they are flat. So that number 98 car, tough handling from here on out.
Single file, the front 5, and now LaJoie goes to work underneath PK. As we've got to look there a little further back in the field as there's a mad scramble. Back about 15th, 16th place.
3 wide for a moment.
Yep.
Jorge Arteaga in the 8 car, as well as Chad Boat in the 98.
And that's the 19 limping in. The car was the hood up earlier. Chuck Buchanan from North Carolina. Here's LaJoie in the 07, carrying the colors of Billy Sawyer's new short track. And for third place, Kennedy up high, and Ryan Gifford in the 2 from Tennessee takes advantage.
Yeah, Ryan Gifford had a great run at Bristol. First race of the year, finished 3rd. Back that up with the 13th at Greenville, the second race out.
Tell you what, you're going to see a lot of passing here right now earlier in the race. There's a lot of really good cars that didn't qualify that well. You see Darrell Wallace back there. There's a couple other. You see Chase Elliott's back there too. They're going to be working their way up towards the front. But I tell you who's impressing me a lot right now is Travis Pastrana. You know, I remember watching him here at this race last year, and I think he hit the wall like lap 2.
That was his debut too in the K&N
I think it was, and it's amazing to see the progress he's made. I've seen him testing up in Nashville in a nationwide car, and he picked it up really quick. So I'm impressed. He's running up front, and he's holding his own up there. And you see LaJoie there. He's working on him right now. LaJoie's been really fast here in the past too. So be a good race there.
Good battle right here. Chase Elliott, the 9 on the outside. Darrell Wallace Jr., the 18 on the inside. Chase has a spot for the moment.
And he's going to secure that. And the challenge is from Daniel Suarez from Monterrey, Mexico, the 14. Getting underneath and good double wide racing all the way back.
Yeah, and you know, guys, we have 10 international drivers in this field out of the 36 car starting field. That's huge.
Yes, I got to know Daniel pretty good in the past. Let me see what we got here.
Yep, Stephen Nassy gets up and into it.
He got it. That's the cool thing about these bias ply tires, man. You can just hang those things out and have fun and slide around.
Gonna be a great shot right here. Just
he got
barely
a piece
touches.
of it, though. Yeah, he did a good job holding on to that thing. You see Suarez got by Darrell there.
Yep, Wallace, the defending champion of this race. And there's Chase Elliott in, of course, the number 9. I mean, what other number could an Elliott drive? But number 9, but a little different. His dad wheeled a Ford almost all his career. Chase Elliott is a development driver for Rick Hendrick. That's a Chevrolet. Brett Moffitt, your leader. May 19th, only on Speed. NASCAR's best in an all-or-nothing $1 million brawl with a new format, the NASCAR Sprint All-Star Race. 7 p.m. Eastern, May 19th, only on Speed.
Going to have an All-Star Showdown race, too. Joey, you're going to be in that race, right? Try to get in the All-Star race.
Yes, I wouldn't mind winning that. And we got a couple more shots of winning a race here coming up. And
that's right.
The Sprint Cup Series to get us into the All-Star race. But, we've been running pretty good lately with our Home Depot car. So, we still got a shot at that.
All right, Brett Moffitt is our leader. He's led every one of the 22 laps so far. Ermy?
You're right, Mike, but a little bit of concern in the pit, not overwhelming, but a little bit free for Brett in this 11 car. They're hoping the longer they run and burn the fuel off on this car, that the car will come to him and tighten up a little bit. Really impressed with the amount of experience he's got in his pits. Dave McCarty is the crew chief, a very experienced crew chief in all divisions of NASCAR, and former NASCAR Nationwide Series driver Andy Santerre on top of the pit box as well. So they're going to try to guide Brett Moffitt to a victory tonight here at Richmond. Bob?
I'll tell you what, right now, for the 20-year-old great-grandson of the founder of NASCAR, Ben Kennedy, in that 96, everything is A-OK. I just spoke to his crew chief, Mike Fritz, and he told me right now, Ben is just trying to save his tires. One set of tires, 100 laps. He wants to have some rubber left at the end of this race. And Phil, we were talking about Ben Kennedy. 2 top 10s so far this year. This kid comes from the pro truck and the super late model world of Florida. He has really matured over the last season and a half, and he's about close to scoring his first ever E-Series victory.
All right, Chad Boat limping to the pits. The right front is down on that car. We're going to stay green, and Boat's going to make it in. Did he get the wall again? Or just have, well, this wasn't it.
Yeah, that's Dylan Presnell, the 26 on the outside. Scott Saunders, the 49 on the inside, making some hard contact as they lap around that 19 car.
Looks like they ran out of room right there. He's trying to make himself a little hole there, trying to weasel through there.
Another
Looks
good
like
view.
He made it.
Trying to give a little bit of room to the 19 and made a little contact. You wonder if Chad Boat's damage came from that earlier spin. He talked about flat spotting those tires earlier, Bob.
Eddie Dickerson was very worried about that. Chad Boat bringing his 98 to pit road right now with that flat right front tire, and that's indeed what they think happened. Is they flat spotted it, and once they went green, it finally went flat. But a tough break for Chad Boat. He's had a lot of tough luck in the E-Series over the last season and a half.
29 complete, and they've all been green but for one brief caution flag for a Boat's first bout with the wall. Brett Moffitt has led the whole way.
Ryan Gifford now has taken over the second spot from Kyle Larson. Ryan the 2 car, Kyle Larson in the 6.
Caution is on the speedway. A spin at turn 4. Dale Quarterly from Westfield, Mass, ex-motorcycle racer, and whose lineage in this season goes all the way back to the days of Busch North.
Tell you what, Quarterly's one heck of a racer. I got the spot for him in a modified one time, and he was very aggressive. I thought another spotter was going to beat me up there. I'm like, easy, but he does a really good job, and he's been, like you said, he's been doing this for a really long time. Looks like he's got a flat right rear there.
Looks like he made a little contact either with another vehicle or the wall.
Yeah, I don't think he got into the wall, Phil. Not sure. So we'll take a look. 30 laps are complete. Brett Moffitt, 7 career wins in this series, and he is out front. NASCAR on Speed revs up for Fast Friday in Richmond. Get ready for the ultimate short track battle with 7 hours of live coverage you can't get anywhere else. NASCAR Fast Friday gets rolling tomorrow, 11:30 a.m. Eastern, only on Speed. Pop.
The 98 of Chad Boat down pit road once again. They are taking this opportunity to check out the rest of the car and the rest of the tires, and this is the reason why. We showed you just a short time ago, he had a flat right front tire. We talked about when he spun earlier, well, he had a flat spot. Well, this is where they flat spotted the tire here, and because he locked up the brakes and flat spotted this tire, it actually punctured the tire and then tore the tire to pieces, and that was the problem with the 98 car here for Chad Boat early in this race.
Get at least one more lap of caution here, and then the leader will get lane choice for the restart. Brett Moffitt's led the whole way so far. Gifford second, Larson, Kennedy, and Pastrana. Your top 5, LaJoy in 6th. PK, Godovic, Elliott and Suarez, the top 10. Defending champ Darrell Wallace in 11.
It's going to be interesting now that Ryan Gifford has taken over that second spot. See if he has anything for Brett Moffitt.
It would. You know, you'd think the bottom's definitely the lane of choice here right now. But, you know, I'm taking notes for the race later. And I run that late model. So we'll see what happens here. But I think it's going to be really interesting to see how many guys are actually saving their tires. You know, I think you see those guys riding around 6th and 7th. When it comes halfway, they might be firing them up.
This is just some of the younger second generation drivers we see here in the series. So many of them in the series.
Age 15 and up in the K&N Pro Series, East and West. So we're a third distance. Brett Moffitt's pretty much had it all his own way, but I think he's in for a challenge right here from Tennessee's Ryan Gifford. Green flag. Larson, middle of the racetrack. Kennedy on his bumper. Kennedy up high just a little bit. That opens the bottom for Pastrana.
Trying to stick it 3 wide back
and
there.
LaJoie 3 wide. Corey LaJoie puts it on the bottom against Pastrana. Tries to slide it in there. He's going to make it.
Travis gave him a little bit of room there at the last second.
That's pretty aggressive early in the race, but you know, track position's huge, so you got to go for it.
Probably the best time to pass somebody is right after a restart, isn't it, Joey?
It's, when you got the most grip in your tires, even though they don't pit, they still got cool tires, so you got to go for it there. And you know, once that one spreads out, it makes it a little bit harder. So you got to get them while you can.
A lot of jostling for position. Trying to make 3 wide down to 2. And LaJoie's not done. He's after Ben Kennedy for 4th place on the inside, going to turn 1, and does it.
Definitely the car on the move right now.
His dad, multiple Busch Series champ Randy LaJoie, runs this team on a limited budget with single race sponsorships, and you know they spent about 20% of what some of the big teams did last year and wound up in the top 10.
Yeah, and do a lot with that too. Second last time out at Greenville to tie his career best. Still looking for win number 1 here in the series.
4 to the inside. That's Brian Ortiz from Puerto Rico against the 14 of Daniel Suarez from Mexico.
Very international battle.
See that Highline's hanging pretty tough there. Daniel's did a good job up there. He ran really well in Phoenix. I got to watch the race there. My buddy Coleman Presley, he crew chiefs that car, so hoping that car does good, and looks like he held him off there on the top side.
Yeah, Coleman actually ran this race last year. I think he finished 11th, and now he's crew chiefing.
Yeah, you know, it's just it's tough, man. It's tough to get sponsors these days. You know, he's a really good driver. Just you know, hard to get the sponsor to get the race.
See the tire rub on that 16 car right there. That's Duarte Ferreira.
Yeah, he's from Angola. Didn't know stock car racing was big in Angola, but here he is.
Now we know. I would dare say that may be a first for us to have an Angolan driver.
There's LaJoie again.
Yeah, he's on the move.
Getting some more.
The Sims Metal Management, Virginia Raceway, number 07. Now that's Billy Sawyer's track. Billy and Wayne Sawyer's track. Their dad Paul was the original promoter here. Sold the track to International Speedway Corp. And they have a beautiful dirt track off to the east of Richmond. And so they're LaJoie's sponsor for tonight. Bob?
I'll tell you what, keep an eye on the driver, that 07, just 20 years old, son of 2-time NASCAR Busch Series champion, Corey LaJoie, inside that 07 car. And right now he's perfect down in 1 and 2, but a little bit loose over there in 3 and 4. Ron Otto, his crew chief, tells me he's good to go, and Corey's been very busy. Won a late model race at Rockingham just a few weeks ago, and this weekend he's going up to run the famed Spring Sizzler at Stafford Motor Speedway in a NASCAR wheel and modified tour car. Hermie?
Well, Bob, one driver that's slowly making his way to the front is Ryan Blaney. He is just outside the top 10. He started 22nd. His car has been tight, so much so that he's been chattering both front tires. But one thing that has helped him is those couple cautions we have had. Every time he gets a heat cycle on his tires, his car seems to be just a little bit better. So right now he's trying to drive his way up into the top 10.
Thanks, Hermie. Chuck Buchanan back on pit road, as is Chad Boat. Nelson Piquet on the outside of Ryan Blaney as we close in on halfway. Brett Moffitt has led the whole distance so far. Working lap 44. Brett Moffitt has had nobody in his mirror. Ryan Gifford trying to stay close. in second. Corey LaJoy is up to third. 2 Toyotas and a Ford in the top 3. Then it's the 6 of Kyle Larson and the Chevy number 96 of Ben Kennedy. Those are your top 5, and still 32 of 36 starters on the lead lap with just 2 brief cautions.
Good battle there. Dylan Presnell on the 26 leads that battle. There's Dale Quarterly, the one that brought out the last caution, the 32 car.
Suarez outside of Ortiz right here and around. Oh, the 16 pounded the wall. Finally, that tire let go that was rubbing on the right front for the Angolan from Luanda, Duarte Ferreira. Did I say that right?
I'm glad you said it.
Very good.
That looks like it was a pretty hard lick. Yeah, it looks like a right front blew out, and there's not much give on the right side of these cars, especially with these old cars. You know, the new COT car definitely got a lot more give on the right side, so he probably felt that one.
Yeah, tough break.
At lap 46, this is the 3rd caution of the day.
You can see how it narrowed that car up, looking from that view right there.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, yeah, he hit hard.
Yeah, you can see the black marks going just about 45-degree angle.
They changed directions in a hurry.
Not so much that he hit hard, but nobody hit him coming or going. We're under caution for the 3rd time in this 100-lapper, closing in on halfway. Get fired up for race day with the Ultimate NASCAR pre-race show. Denny Hamlin and DW celebrate the legacy of NASCAR's all-time winningest number. Here's a hint, it's not 43. Plus, Greg Biffle and Kyle Busch live. NASCAR race day fueled by Sunoco, Saturday, 5 Eastern, right here on Speed. Well, Joey, what do you think is going to be the winning strategy here? 3rd caution of the day.
Well, I think we're just joking on the break, as it's staying out's going to be the deal here. So then they can't pit anyway. We were just joking, but
it's also the rule. But,
I tell you, there's I tell you that 07 car looks strong. I tell you, LaJoy is very, very fast, and he's got that inside lane on this restart, starting 3rd. You know, I would think he's going to be up there to the lead here pretty quick, I think. But he's just got to be careful. You know, don't want to you know, knock your fenders in or you know, burn your tires up too early. So still almost, well, they're halfway right now. So you got a long ways to go.
Bob?
Mike, just about to the halfway point in this race, and a tough race so far for the defending winner of this one, 18-year-old Darrell Wallace Jr. A lot of people thought he would be contending to defend his crown, but that car just plain awful. His crew chief, Brian Frazier, on top of the box right now, told me, we just plain missed it here. Really tight in the center, really loose off. He's trying to conserve his stuff to save some tires for the end of the race, but it's been a handful for the driver, the number 18.
Yeah, Bubba Wallace is 14th in the field right now. I just heard Bob say he's 18, and I've been thinking of him as a veteran of the series. You know,
been running it for a few years now. Yeah. I tell you, that's a tough situation, man. When you get a bad car and you're trying to make sure you don't burn your tires up, he's got his hands full tonight. But they'll figure it out. You know, those guys at Jacobs Racing build them great cars, and just looks like they missed it a little bit tonight. But he'll be fine. And he's got a really fast late model here for the 2nd race here tonight.
Now you start 10th in the Denny Hamlin. It's the short track showdown. I heard it described on radio today as the show off because of all the young fellas trying to make it in NASCAR that are hoping to get noticed, as C.E. Falk did a couple of years ago.
I tell you what, there is a bunch of little kids. There's one of Phil Fittipaldi's grandson. Is it grandson? Okay, yeah. Max Pappas calls it. Go say hello to him. He's almost up to my, not even close to my shoulder, actually. He's a little guy, and he's doing a great job. I think he qualified a little bit behind me, but not by much, and doing a good job. He's talking about how this is the biggest racetrack I ever went to. And I'm like, Richmond? It's the smallest track we go, one of them, so it's funny, but that'll be an awesome race, and I'm looking forward to it.
Should be a lot of fun, and it will air live a little later this evening on Speed. Hermie?
Well, Mike, the 17 of Nelson Piquet Jr. came to pit road, really gave up a lot of track position, but his car is nowhere close to be a winning race car. I talked to the guys in the crew. He is tight through the center and loose on exit. So they came in and actually took air out of the right front. They did not change tires, obviously, by the rules. They took air out of the right front tires, took a rubber out of the right rear, and also made a track bar adjustment. So they're trying to work on the balance of the 17 car for Nelson Piquet Jr., hoping that he can get back on track and make his way towards the front.
All right, Dale Quarterly also on pit road, along with Scott Saunders and Enrique Contreras. in the 0. We're under caution in Richmond. "53 laps complete in the Blue Ox 100 for the K&N Pro Series East. Brett Moffitt lines up first. Ryan Gifford from Tennessee second in the number 2, and Corey LaJoie. Joey, your buddy's on the inside of row number 2. What's he going to do?
I think he's about to get some right here. He's, he's in a great position. He's got a really fast car. I was watching the splits here before they went to caution, and he was catching a leader. So I'd say in about 5 or 6 laps, I think he's going to beat. He might beat me to it. Here they go.
Kyle Larson in 4th, Ben Kennedy 5th, Travis Pastrana is 6th as we're back under green.
Corey does get to the inside of Ryan Gifford.
Turn 1 hard. The 15, Carlos Giaconelli from Sao Paulo, Brazil. There was contact, and he ended up straight up into the wall hard. You can see twin tire tracks where he had the brake locked, but there was no avoiding the turn 1 wall.
Let's see what happened here. See if he had another right front down. It looks,
Oh, yeah.
Looks like a right front again. That's
he tried to get it wound down, but to no avail.
Yeah, I tell you what, I don't know who that was on the outside of him, but he's lucky he didn't clip him on the way up there and take a couple cars into that wreck.
That's the second car out of the X-Team racing team to get a lot of damage like that. Parada was another one of the X-Team cars.
They're going to have their work cut out up there for sure.
Let's take one more look at it in real time here. White car on the outside, right in the middle.
Might have been a little contact before, but
yeah, you wonder if the fender got knocked in there or something like that that cut down that right front, because usually, I mean, at least when I ran these cars, you didn't see right front blowouts or tire problems or anything like that, so usually it came from a cut from some sort.
All right, let's check with Bob.
Well, Mike, I'll tell you what, you walk up and down pit road here and you see all sorts of Cup people. David Reagan, driver in the Sprint Cup Series. How much do you enjoy watching this East Series and the late models a little later on here tonight at Richmond?
Yeah, a lot of fun. You know, Bob, I'm just being a fan tonight, so it's a lot of fun to come out here to a short track. And what a great show these K&N cars are putting on, and the late model stocks afterwards. I got some business cards in my back pocket. I'm kind of passing them out maybe for a ride next year, but just being a race fan's fun. A lot of old friends and some colleagues that I used to race with back in the day, so it's good watching these guys. And I'm pulling for Corey LaJoie tonight. He's the only Ford in the field, so hopefully he can represent Ford well.
And, you know, we got somebody in the booth, Joey Logano, who you used to race with a lot. You guys battled door to door and side by side for many a year, didn't you?
Yeah, Joey was just here a few years ago, cutting his teeth in the K&N series. So it's a great series for young kids to get a good start in, and a lot of young guys. It makes me feel a little old. You know, I know Joey mentioned that earlier. I was watching Speed when the race went green. So a lot of young guys out here trying to make a name for themselves, put on a good show, and learn something. This is a big track for these guys, so a lot of fun watching them, and a little R&R before we get to work tomorrow.
Hey, Mike Joy, how about David Reagan talking like a veteran? Who'd have thunk it?
Well, he is. How about that? You know, he's a long way removed from racing Legends cars with Joey. Now, that's Austin Dillon on the left from out of the Truck Series into the Nationwide Series. That's Daddy Dillon, if you're on Twitter. Mike Dillon on the right. Austin and Ty's dad.
We're just missing Ty is all we're missing here.
Well, the trucks aren't here.
That's right.
Right.
That's right. We could be here anyway, and Ty may eventually be here for the race.
He might be here.
Austin was up in Pocono testing the truck up there.
And he's third in Nationwide Series points. They race here to that race eagerly anticipated by action sports fans everywhere.
Great season for RCR, getting back in the Nationwide series with a bang. Three cars full time, 2 of them up in the top 3 in points.
They went through inspection today with a bang too. We're told that all the RCR cars,
as well as the Turner cars,
the 3 Turner Chevrolets, all had some necessary nose surgery to make it through inspection today in the Nationwide Series.
And they, from what we understand, they will be able to fix those cars and run them. But there could be some penalties forthcoming next week if they found that they had an illegal part on the car.
Yeah, you see that a lot. So
could alter that point standings we just looked at.
Everyone's always trying to push it, but there's that limit, and NASCAR always put you back in your place. So yeah, they do a good job regulating all that.
Looks like Contreras will get the wave around here as we get one to go. He does. Who has anything for Brett Moffitt? 7 career wins in this series. 6 of them have come on tracks where NASCAR's National Series compete. The trucks, the Nationwide, and Cup, Sprint Cup.
He's actually the leading winner here in the field. He has more wins than anybody else. Dale Quarterly has 6 wins.
Getting ready to restart. You can buy 2 front stretch tickets to the All-Star race and see Blake Shelton for just $99. Wow. And you'll see the whole race on the world's largest HD TV. Charlotte Motor Speedway, Sprint All-Star race, and Blake Shelton concert. 2 for $99. That's a screaming deal.
That's one of the best races you can go to, too. So concert, an awesome race on a big TV there. Awesome.
59 complete. 40 to go when they cross the stripe under green. And Moffitt's got company this time. The 6 looked for the inside, but Larson couldn't get down there. LaJoie holds the spot, but loses touch with the leader.
Boy, Larson big time loose off of turn 2 that time.
Yes, those guys are running hard. You see LaJoie, he didn't go up through the gearbox as quick as he needed to there, and kind of put him back there a little bit, having to race hard right now.
Pastrana a solid 5th, Kennedy 6th, Godovic, Blaney, Suarez, and Ortiz the top 10. Challenge for the lead.
Nice job on the outside. Ryan Gifford now all over the back of Brett Moffitt.
Gifford got right to Moffitt's bumper as they came off turn 2.
Be interesting to see how hard he's going to push it here. You know, it's still a long ways to go. So you see Moffitt's moving up there a little bit, opening the door for him. Hopefully, you know, maybe he's trying to get that run off the corner. Just seems like he did a little bit.
Looked like Gifford made a little ground up through the center of 1 and 2 that time.
Now you see a 2-car going high trying to get a run, and he might get him there.
Well, it looked like Moffitt came down to cover and just kind of to try that low groove out in case he had to be there.
And it looks like what he might be doing is trying to get some clean air on it. You know, I know this is a short track and it might not matter as much as Kansas last week, but trying to get clean air is huge.
Iaconelli and Ferreira checked at the care center and released. Everybody okay?
That's Jesse Little in the 97 car. We talked about him being the youngest driver ever to start one of these races, the 97.
That's right, Chad Little, who ran very well in what was then the Busch Series and in Sprint Cup. For Jack Roush, now the director of NASCAR's Whelen Modified Tour. He goes to work tomorrow up at Stafford as his son. I've seen him come through the late model race ranks. He's got talent, and boy, he's holding his own right here.
He's doing a nice job running in the 13th spot right here.
Battling the 7 of Michael McGuire out of Vinton, Virginia. And Chase Elliott trying to hold the 14 of Daniel Suarez.
It's a battle for the top 10 right there. Chase has 10. Suarez trying to get it.
Now Elliott just broke into the top 10 a lap or 2 ago. And a couple of laps ago, he got a boot from the 7, McGuire, but was able to hold him off.
Looked like he got a little bit sideways before.
We're under caution for Quarterly again.
Yeah, a lot of damage. Looks like the other 2 cars that we saw with the right front tire going down.
That one's done for sure this time.
Hard hits here.
Yeah.
Richmond.
Man, the Bolograph Van Dyke machine had a hard impact with the wall.
Tell you what, I don't even know if a car like that's even fixable.
That's just, I was going to say, that's just not just a hard hit. That's a real blow for a small team like that.
That's really going to bend the frame rails and a lot of bars in the chassis there. So I was just tweaked up pretty good.
Tough right for Dale Quarterly, one of the veterans of the series.
Yep, 5th caution flag tonight. Last year we only had 2 cautions in the entire 100-lap distance. Brett Moffitt, still your leader in Richmond. Getting ready to restart the Blue Ox 100 with 30 laps to go. Last year's winner, Darrell Wallace Jr., back on pit road for a second time under this caution. Car not running all that well, and he'd fallen out of the top 15, Bob. Getting set for the restart. Pace car is in. Wallace will have to tag on to the tail end of the field. Brett Moffitt and Ryan Gifford bring them down. Gifford a little bit out ahead of the race leader and gives it back going in turn 1, making that a legal restart. And now they're going to battle.
Looks like Moffitt gets a little bit loose underneath him. Dead even going in 3.
46 to the bottom, 3 wide. A little bit of contact right behind the leaders. Everybody squares off and makes it off the corner okay.
And we have a new leader.
Ryan Gifford to the front. After stalking Brett Moffitt for 72 laps, he becomes only the second leader of this race.
Tell you that outside lane, it's coming in good right now. You got more laps out there, older tires, guys are moving around. It's coming pretty racy out there. But the 11's not done yet.
See, a little bit of a wiggle out of Gifford there. He opens up the bottom.
Kyle Larson coming into play right behind the leader.
Oh, using him up a little bit there.
Moffitt wanted that outside groove too.
And look at the run Larson got. He gets right to their bumpers.
27 to go. It's time to go right now, and they know it.
Cool tires coming off the restart. Moffitt wiggles, gets into the left front of Larson, who gets side by side with him for second.
Moffitt's not going to give it up, though.
LaJoy fourth, Kennedy fifth, Pastrana sixth under fire from Ortiz in the 4.
Remember, Ryan Gifford has never won one of these. He's been second a couple times, has not been to victory lane.
Whoa, man, the 6 car, he thought about putting it right down the center there.
Larson looking on. Gifford and Moffitt side by side for the lead. LaJoy 4 car lengths back and forth. Kennedy 5th.
Good corner that time for Moffitt.
Looks like he's going to get him probably in this turn.
And Brett Moffitt slides up maybe too far.
Gifford's doing a crossover.
Yep.
This is some good racing right here. This is awesome.
And that's Ortiz in the 4 coming toward the front against Pastrana. Contact. Elliott right behind them. That's for 6th place on the right. For the lead on the left of your screen.
A little bit of contact there with Moffitt and Gifford. That moved Moffitt way up the hill, allowed Larson to get underneath him. Now Moffitt fights back on the outside, going after Gifford again.
23 to go.
The 11, he wants to get down to the bottom. He's trying hard. Looks like his car doesn't handle as good when he moves up.
Oh,
there goes Pastrana.
Around goes Pastrana, and he was sent.
What happened there?
Brian Ortiz in the 4 and Pastrana got together. The 70 also spins. That's Vaina, Rafael Vaina, but Pastrana was being scored as 7th as Vaina backs up and rolls away. So at lap 77, we're under caution. Here's a look at it.
Just looks like the 4 just may have carried a little bit too much speed, may have been a little free and couldn't
turn down to the bottom.
Looks like he was scared to turn the wheel. You know, when there's a car on the outside, you lose a lot of air on the side of these cars and they get quite a bit freer. So it looks like that's what happened. Travis is, yeah, he didn't do nothing wrong. Wrong place, wrong time.
I'm with you on that, right to the point where the 4 is right up against Travis's left rear wheel, and you can see the 4 turn right.
Well, that's to catch the back end of the car.
That's to save himself at that point.
Drivers.
You gotta
drivers, y'all stick together. We're under caution at 77 laps. Gifford for Moffitt. Here's another look at it. We'll put us under this caution. That was a lot of right turn there. What a battle it's been at the front of the pack. When they take the green for the restart, it will be 18 laps to go. Ryan Gifford in the black deuce, and in that mostly white number 11, Brett Moffitt, the pole sitter. Here we go with Larson and LaJoy in row 2, Kennedy and Ortiz in row 3, green flag.
I tell you what, the lane choice was interesting. It looks like the top is going to be about as good as the bottom. If Moffitt can stay out there, it doesn't look like he's going to do it. But if he could have stayed out there, it looks like he may have been able to pass it from the outside.
Single file there. Moffitt with a bumper full of LaJoy, and the 6 comes in on the bottom, and Moffitt wants the bottom. 8 wheels corner better than 4. They touch. They're dead even at the line.
Here comes LaJoy's right there, too, ready to strike.
Here comes that 07 car. He's going to poke to the bottom.
And LaJoy almost gets up and into the deuce.
Well, the 2 just turned left there. He tried to get underneath of our leader, Moffitt.
Here comes Chase Elliott in that second white car, the number 9. Elliott up for 5th.
That 07 car just got his fender knocked in. He needs to be careful, make sure he doesn't blow that right front out.
So Moffitt back in command. He started pole. as the 6 of Larson goes to the bottom against LaJoie in the 07.
Well, Larson drove it in there hard and was able to make it stick, but lost a little bit of ground up off of 2. Here comes Chase on the inside. Looks like maybe Chase saved a little bit of tire here for the end.
Looks like he was very patient and methodical coming up through the field. That's pretty impressive.
Listening to Joey Logano, 07 champ of this series. As we come down to 15 to go, Moffitt leading from Gifford, LaJoie, Larson, and Elliott.
Chase gets down to the inside of Larson in the battle for 4th.
It just looks like LaJoie's car is really tight right now after they knocked that fender in. And then everyone's right on him, so he just needs to be careful here.
And he may have to give up 3rd place right here.
Now Larson got a little bit loose up off of 2. That allowed Chase to pull up to the outside of him.
So Elliott on the high side.
We got a little traffic jam right there, don't we?
Yeah, and on the right, Jesse Little holding off quite a pack there, Bob.
Yeah, Chase Elliott's had a tough time of this one. I spoke to his crew chief, Lance McGrew, and he told me, you know what, each race we go to, Chase has been fighting a very loose race car. So they went with a setup that would prevent the car from turning to kind of prevent that loose condition. But it's really bit the team here. The car's coming to him a little bit late in this race as the tires burn off all the other cars. But it's been a tough go of it for Chase Elliott in this race.
Elliott has moved up to 4th. He's passed Larson and set sail for LaJoie.
Michael McGuire gets really sideways in the 7 car, allows Sergio Pena to get that spot. That's up into the top 10.
11 laps to go as Moffitt crosses the stripe. Oh, hard crash for Contreras and Suarez.
That's a rear clip, that's for sure.
That's another one of the X-Team cars. That's the 3rd out of 4.
I tell you what, and then talking to Coleman up there, man, they're going to have their hands full. It's going to be a lot of hard work for them this upcoming weeks.
That 12 took a really vicious impact and then spun off the barrier to where it rests.
See some damage on the right front of Suarez's car.
He didn't fare much better. It looked like he backed it in. Let's see.
That's hard to say. Ooh.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Hard to say what happened there. It looks like he was spinning
He was
already.
sideways early, wasn't he?
Yeah. Real early.
Going across the apron, it looked like.
Yeah.
Looked like the 14 was done and the 12 just came rushing in there trying to avoid it and did anything but.
Yeah, the 14 slid up across the racetrack in front of the 12.
Yep.
They may red flag this race. There's safety vehicles all over the corner there.
You know, they were running 20th and 24th.
And he's turned the wrong way.
Well, the 12's trying to come down as the 14's sliding up. It was the right move, just badly timed.
But the 14 was going up the racetrack with the right side of the car, like they had already swapped ends.
Yeah, he'd already hit something hard.
I like to see what happened there. It's kind of interesting. With well, at least it wasn't the left side. You know, that would have been that would have hurt a little bit more. But 2 tore up race cars.
Well, we're still under caution. That happened in turn 3. The field is stopped under caution in the backstretch. We're not officially under the red flag, but we've got 10 laps to go.
These guys
now we are. Now we're under the red flag.
These guys are starting to think about it now. Now you get time to sit there, rest a little bit, and get a little game plan on what you're going to do when this thing goes green.
Shall we throw it to Hermie, would you?
Hermie, we're throwing it to you from the booth up here.
Well, thank you, Joe. You're doing a fine job up there. Dave McCarty, these restarts, every time the caution comes out, you give a little bit of another one. We got at least one more. What do you tell your driver to do on this next restart after this red flag?
Well, Brett's a pretty good driver. He's been around a little while now, and Ryan Gifford, he's hungry. He wants to win, but so are we. And I'm relying on the experience of Brett, that he's got enough races under his belt that he knows what to do. And being a leader, we kind of have the advantage getting going here. So I think Brett's got a good enough car. Ryan's pretty tough the first couple of laps. So if we can get separated from him, we'll be all right here.
you've been a crew chief a long time. Tell us about the challenges in this particular series of having that car dialed in to start the race. You once the green flag drops, not a whole lot you can do. It's kind of all in the driver's hand.
Yeah, you rely on a little bit of experience from previous races, and last year a lot of guys had trouble with free up off the corner, so we made sure we were a little bit tight to start this race. But that's the tough thing with rookie drivers. You got to kind of also read the car, get it dialed in, but yet have enough experience and enough know-how to make sure that you can get to the end of the race and still be good.
That's Dave McCarty. We've got at least one more restart, and they have been exciting so far tonight. Bob?
Hermie, but don't count out the 2-car of Ryan Gifford. And you know what? Walking down pit road here, you see all sorts of faces that you've known for a long time in the NASCAR business. His crew chief tonight and for the last few races has been Dennis Conner. And Dennis Conner has been around the NASCAR ranks for a real long time. In fact, won a Truck Series championship or 2 with Jack Sprague, and that's him right there. And Dennis just told me that Ryan has been really tight with that race car. But he thinks this red flag condition, and the further we get on into the nighttime here, this track, he says, has a tendency to loosen up. And this might play right into the hands of the 2 machine with Ryan Gifford for him to go get that first ever victory here in the East Series. Phil, you mentioned it. He's finished in the bridesmaid role a couple times. He's really eager to get to victory lane.
10 top 5s and 12 top 10s in 28. Starts in this series for Ryan Gifford, looking for that first win.
Yeah, 35 starts for Brett Moffitt, so they do have a little bit of experience. Remember, these guys don't run but 12, 14 races a year, so it's not like they run 30-some races a year. So this is the 3rd full season, I think, for Brett Moffitt, maybe even the 4th full season for Brett Moffitt. But as you mentioned, Ryan Gifford also has some pretty good experience.
For sure, and that's what makes the points so critical. You know, you have such a short season; it's like the chase the whole season. So you can't afford to have a bad race. And you know, I was listening earlier, and I thought it was interesting to see what Chase Elliott's their philosophy was on keeping their car tight. That might be why he didn't qualify that well or start the race that well. But ever since everyone started wearing the right rears out, you can see his car starting to come to life. So it might not work the greatest for him on this restart, but you never know. It'll be a lot of bumping and banging when you're 10 to go.
All right, we're going to take a short break. We're going to teach Joey how to use TalkBack, and I just blew up the telestrator. It's a fun night of racing here in Richmond, folks. How'd you like a chance to win $10,000 in the NASCAR Sprint Cup All-Star Race Sweepstakes? Like NASCAR on Speed's Facebook page for your chance to win. Register now. Watch the race Saturday, May 19th, 7 Eastern. For bonus codes that could give you 100 additional sweepstakes entries. About to lift the red flag here in Richmond, Bob.
I'll tell you what, Lance McGrew told us just a little while ago he might have misjudged a little bit on the setup for Chase Elliott, but maybe this red flag playing into your hands. Do you still have a shot at it?
I think so. I mean, the car's still pretty good. It's just really tight. We've really fought drive off for the last couple races, so we made a couple changes our setup today, actually. And I was a little worried about it because it's been really tight in the center, but the drive-off's been really good. And if it affects these other guys' cars like we think it is and they continue to lose drive-off, our Dream Machine may take this one.
We've been watching Chase Elliott for the last couple of years, just 16 years old right now. What do you think about his maturity behind the wheel?
It's amazing. But, I mean, you're talking about a kid that's raced thousands of times. He's got a lot of experience, and he's grown up around a lot of older people, so he's mature beyond his years. And the kid's the real deal. He'll be racing on Sunday in no time.
Already, just at 16 years old, he's a Snowball Derby champion and going after his first victory here in the East Series, guys.
8 top 10s in 14 races for Chase, and he will also be in the Denny Hamlin Short Track Showdown later this evening.
Yeah, Joey's going to have to race against Chase here in a little bit.
I got a lot of heavy hitters out there, and obviously Kyle and Denny, and a lot of Cup drivers. Tony's out there, Almirola. So a lot of Cup drivers out there. It'll be a lot of fun. It's fun to get back in a late model too. Just to drive, like we said, on that bias ply tire, getting to play around. I wish we had a little bit more motor in them, because then it'd be a lot of fun. They're a little bit low on the horsepower, but it still puts on a great race.
There's Jeff Burton's car,
brand spanking new car that Jeff built for this race.
It's crazy to see how much everyone's put in for money for those late model races to run.
Here's why we're under caution. The 14 goes spinning, gets T-boned by the 12, and up into the wall Daniel Suarez goes. Both he and Jorge Contreras Jr. have been checked and released at the Infield Care Center.
We have a great stats department that come and helps us up here in the booth. We've got Joe and Russell here, and Jimmy, one of our stats guys,
Jimmy Hicks,
was busy And maybe we have a picture and show you what he was doing.
Benjamin Frederick Hicks,
having
6
a baby.
pounds, 14 ounces.
Congratulations.
Absolutely. Glad everybody's doing well.
My nationwide crew chief, Adam Stevens, his wife is home. Hopefully she's watching. Hey, but she's going to have a baby any day now. So Adam might have to leave tomorrow. You never know. So we'll see what happens.
He's on call, right?
He's on call, and we got a whole backup plan just in case he has to go.
The jet dryer's busy in turn 3, as you can hear in the background, because they put a lot of speedy dry down in turn 3, because when the 12 center punched the 14, it took all the fluids from that car. And we'll try to get this track clean as possible for these final 10 laps.
Yeah, this restart is going to be really critical with Moffitt in the lead. Ryan Gifford now second. It may dictate who may end up in victory lane as who gets the good jump on the restart.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. It's you saw Gifford with really good on the restarts there, better than Moffitt, so we'll see.
It's band camp. All right. Under the 7th caution of the night, the red flag lifted. Scott Saunders from Brisbane, Australia, needed a push start. He got going, and we're getting ready to resume. Coming up, the Denny Hamlin short track showdown. Here's Bob.
And one of the guys in this team, you got Wes Weed right here, legendary tire guy. But how about you tonight? You've won this Denny Hamlin race a couple of times. How tough is this race going to be tonight?
I've won it at a different racetrack, so this place is a little different. But we're looking forward to it. We just want to welcome the new sponsor we have on board at Kyle Busch Motorsports, AMF, GoAMF.com with us tonight. So it's going to be a lot of fun, though. Looking forward to having a good race. We qualified better than we did last year.
You let a couple guys spank you in qualifying here, though, didn't you?
Jeff Burton and Tony Stewart both got spanked then, too. So I don't know. Denny's way back in 19th or something. But, we just can watch the ending of this one here. It's been a good race so far. I've been watching the speed and looking forward to our race here in a little bit.
Your Cup teammate Joey Logano's up in the booth there, and he's working the telestrate. As I interview you, he was giving you a mustache. What do you think about that? I don't think he can even grow a mustache yet, can he?
No, I can't. I don't think he can either. So he was on the Gillette deal, and I always asked him why. Because he never had any facial hair. Probably still doesn't.
Take a look at the monitor over here. There you go, Joey. Good. You got it right now.
It's a better look for him, really. He needs to do something. Here, I'll give him a little curl here. Oh, that's arrow. Sorry.
Oh,
look
boy.
at that.
Hang on. I'm a rookie up here.
Stay right there. Stay right there.
Oh, he moved.
You guys got enough.
Too many
time on your
toys.
hands.
There we go.
Shall we go racing?
One to go coming. You guys,
good luck.
Business.
Oh, if we can't have fun, what are we going to do?
And Joey's going to have to repeat Illustrator 101. But Brett Moffitt in the number 11, trying for his 8th victory in the series, up against Ryan Gifford, the black number 2, looking for his first. That's Corey LaJoie on the inside of row number 2, and Chase Elliott in the 9-2 second-generation drivers. Actually, Corey's a third-generation racer. And then Larson and Kennedy, Godovic and Ortiz, McGuire and Pena, Weller and McDonald. That's the top dozen. Still 28 cars on the lead lap, and officially there'll be 6 laps to go at the line. Think we can get through 6 consecutive laps and get to the checker?
It's not out of the question that these front 2 guys could get together and open up that bottom for Corey LaJoie, maybe.
I think so. I think you're going to see the old chrome horn here.
Oh, look at Gifford.
Oh, around goes the deuce. And everybody gets by. Unbelievable.
No caution here. Still green.
What a tough break for Ryan Gifford.
A lot of tire smoke on Chase Elliott's car. Will it hold off for another 6 laps?
Good. And here comes LaJoie after Moffitt. We are still green. 5 laps to go. Here they come.
I don't think that left front's going to make it. That thing's smoking a lot.
LaJoie looks to the bottom, and Moffitt takes it low to block. 3 wide into 1. Everybody gets through that one.
A lot of smoke out of Chase's left front tire there.
Elliott Kennedy battling for the 4th spot. And up front, Moffitt and LaJoie. 4 to go.
Well, Ryan Gifford jumped in the throttle and just completely buzzed the tires. Nothing Chase could do about it.
If Chase checked up, he would have got dumped. So he was the aggressive person, and he had to be. He was going to get dumped if he didn't. Here you see LaJoie. He's on him. This is going to be good.
Yeah, Moffitt was out of shape that last corner. Corey was able to gain a little bit. You see him running with the left sides across the apron, trying to get a little bite down there. Corey looks to the inside.
He's got room. Moffitt's going to have to give him racing room, and Corey LaJoie goes to the lead.
Well, it looked like the 11 just gave it to him. They're trying to cross him up right here. See what happens.
Moffitt's going to fight back to the inside.
Caution. Spinner at turn 4 down to the inside, and it's last year's winner, Darrell Wallace.
Man, Darrell's just having a tough night, man. I don't know what's going on there. Oh, it's a right rear flat is what happened there.
Caution out, 8th one of the night, lap 97. So Darrell Wallace.
Brett Moffitt has pulled up beside of Corey LaJoie, and that's his way of telling the NASCAR officials, I want you to go back and tell me who's leading. I believe it's going to be Corey LaJoie without a doubt.
Well, do they go to the last completed lap in this series before the caution comes out, I believe?
I think they do.
Did they win the championship?
They did.
Oh, we'll take that.
But they may change the rules. I don't know.
Well, they run a lot of racetracks, guys, that doesn't have scoring loops.
Exactly.
So some of the short tracks, so they probably have to revert back to the previous lap. And if that's the case, it's going to go back to the 11, probably of Brett Moffitt.
And that's what the scoreboard is showing. Bob?
Darrell Wallace Jr. keeping his composure inside that 18 car, which has been horrific all night long. A flat right rear tire on this one. That kid will make his nationwide series debut in Iowa in May.
And you fellows are right. Last completed lap, because, as you've said, not all of the tracks they race at have the loop data where you can go back to the last scoring loop crossed to set the restart order.
I listen to the driver's meeting, don't I?
Yeah, you do.
That's the same way in the late model race later. So,
well done.
It's always a bummer, man. Every time you pass somebody and you got them cleared, you know, and it looked like Corey had them cleared there, and you have to give it back and do it again.
So I'm down at Randy LaJoie's shop, you know, joy of seating there in Concord, right in front of Field Filler Fairgrounds.
They're racing Sunday.
Picking up some seat parts for Scott's Bandolero. I said, so what are you doing this weekend? He says, well, after we win Richmond, Randy says, we're going to load up. We're going to drive 8 hours up to Stafford because Corey's got to practice the modified Saturday morning.
Yeah.
So
that'll be pretty cool. Those modified racing's awesome. You're from up north. I know you love it. There's old Randy.
Up on the starter stand. Multiple Busch Series champ, and he is the car owner for his son Corey. And as we mentioned earlier, they've got some race-to-race sponsors, but what they can do with a small budget is, Bob, a whole lot more than some teams have been able to put together with multiples of what the LaJoies are spending to run this 07.
I'll tell you what, the kid has a lot of talent, but watch this restart. Ron Otto, the crew chief, told me they chose the wrong gear. A little bit different on the gear ratio than a lot of the other competitors here, and because of that, he's suffering in traffic and also suffering a little bit on these restarts, even though he had a heck of a restart the last time. So Ron Otto, man, he threw his stopwatch down on top of the box because they thought they had this race won.
All right, 3 attempts at a green, white checker. Moffitt, the pole sitter, has led most of this race. He's in the 11. LaJoie, who won the UARA late model race at Rockingham 2 weeks ago, on the outside of him. Green flag waves. Moffitt gets a jump.
Yeah, you see that gear ratio hurting LaJoie there on that start. Going all the way back to third.
Yeah, Chase Elliott now has moved up to second. Sergio Pena with a nice 3-wide move, getting a couple spots.
Chase is under him here with that left front still smoking.
For the lead. Lap and a half to go. Slides it in. They touch. LaJoie to the bottom, 3 wide. Here they come to the white flag. Moffitt. LaJoie inside. Elliott outside.
Keep that lead.
How did he do that?
That's impressive. Tell you, LaJoie's there, though. He's still got to clear to 9. Man, turn 3 is going to be exciting.
Ooh, Chase gets sideways.
Next flag ends the race. Elliott outside Moffitt. LaJoie looks for the bottom shot again. Here they come off the corner to the flag. They touch. And Elliott hits the wall. Moffitt is the winner.
Got it. Wow. What a race. That's awesome.
What a finish.
Woo. I tell you, for a minute there, I thought Chase was going to get it, and then he tapped the wall and he lost his momentum, and 11 got it back.
I think he had it. Brett moved him up against the wall, and that slowed his momentum.
Yeah, Brett did a great job there. You know, it looks like he was struggling with that car in that restart, but he held strong there. I was surprised the 9 held up really strong after he got that damage. So, what a race.
The Kobe Toyopet, number 11, Brett Moffitt, scores his 8th career victory in the series, his first of this year. After finishing in the runner-up spot 1 year ago, Chase Elliott second in the 9. Corey LaJoie, the only Ford in the race, finishes 3rd. Larson and Godovic, the top 5. Look at this coming to the white.
That was incredible. It looked like Brett was going to be third when they came off turn 4, and he ends up with a lead again.
Corey did all he could do there, that's for sure. What a great race.
And so did Elliott.
Well, look at that run that Chase got off of turn 4.
Where did that come from? That's that forward drive he had saving the whole race right there.
Moffitt had just enough, but he had to use up Elliott and a little bit of the wall there to do it.
Right there was where he lost his momentum. Looks like he was going to have it there right before that.
What a finish.
They definitely use the old chrome horn. Here he just uses the whole side, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, now this was coming to the white flag.
But 8 tires are always better than 4.
You'd be surprised how much grip you got when you lay up against someone.
It was all that gave LaJoie a chance, but Moffitt just squirted away.
What a terrific finish.
See the 6 of Larson?
Watch the 9 right here.
Trying to dive in there, too.
That was an incredible run off the turn 2 from the top side.
Woo.
That is Chase Elliott's best career finish. He was 3rd at Greenville Pickens. There's Chase Elliott getting congratulations.
I know Chase is probably bummed out he didn't win the race, but he did a very good job. He needs to be proud of himself.
Bob?
Chase Elliott climbing out of this race car, and you can see the frustration written all over his face. A great run by Chase Elliott, his best ever here in the East Series. We'll let him climb out here. And Chase, I want you to take me through those last couple laps. It was a close one off of turn number 4.
Yeah, unfortunately, I've won them like that, and now I've lost them like that too. So, I mean, I guess the plus is we ran pretty good tonight. We started the race off, and I thought we were going to be pretty bad. So to come back and kind of turn around, and I feel like we had the car to beat there at the end. Just felt like that restart was going our way, and I guess Corey got in there a little bit hot and got into me and tried to make the outside work, and Brett used me up off of 4, but heck, I don't blame him. I mean, going for the win like that, you got to. So it was a heck of a race for the fans. That's what matters, a live television event. So that's what the K&N Pro Series East needs. And I just want to apologize to 2-car. That was my fault. He spun his tires, and I committed to the outside and had a huge run, and he started to move up, and I just barely caught his right rear quarter, and around he went. But, you know, I apologize to those guys. Had a great run going for him. So we'll take our momentum and move on.
Tough break there with Ryan Gifford, but I want to talk about the emotion. You come in here and you were just frustrated. You were so close to that victory. What could you have done different?
I just maybe ran 3 and 4 a little bit differently. I was a little bit tight, and man, I just hate to give him away like that. I mean, you had a shot to win. You got to take advantage of it, and something we just got to work on. Got to work on closing.
Mature beyond his years, Mike Joy.
Oh, what a great group of drivers that we've got here and that we are about to see. Joey Logano starts 10th tonight. Is this going to be just as wild and woolly as the race we just saw?
Yes, it will be. If I'm in it, yes, it will be.
All right.
So.
Hey, no points either. Remember that,
points,
Joey.
all for fun.
No problem. Well,
all for the checkers.
Thanks for joining us as a past champ of this series. Great to have your perspective for this 100-lapper.
Thank you. I had fun watching the race with you guys and calling it with you, so I'm around anytime you need me.
We'll do it again sometime.
Thanks, guys.
Good luck tonight.
Good luck.
Brett Moffitt climbs out in victory lane where he led 92 laps. Hermie led 3 times for 92 tonight.
Well, Brett Moffitt, that is the way short track racing is supposed to be. First of all, congratulations, career victory number 8.
Yeah, it was good. You know, we came here and we unloaded, and we weren't really that good, but we worked on it hard, and these guys just did a great job. I'm happy to get the first pole and the first win for HRE today. Toyo Pet. Man, it was just a great weekend. You know, had my favorite dinner at Olive Garden last night, watched some Duck Dynasty, and now I'm in victory lane.
And talk about those restarts. They were the story of this race. Talk about the restarts first. You battled with Gifford, and then you holding off LaJoie and Chase Elliott at the end.
Yeah, they were bringing it on strong, but that's short track racing. You know, it's the restarts were key. Gifford was really getting me good on the restarts, but you know, we were able to hold them off, and it was a good battle.
That's Brett Moffitt, career victory number 8 here at Richmond. And guys, it's been a long time since we've seen a short track race that good here at Richmond.
Well, I've seen it now 4 times, and I'm still not sure how he got through there to get the lead back. More from Richmond right after this. What a great race at Richmond, the first of 2 tonight, the Denny Hamlin short track showdown. Coming up, the Blue Ox 100 is in the books. Brett Moffitt, the winner. Let's go back down to Bob.
Corey LaJoie climbs out of his race car and he asked me, how's my hair doing? He knew he was going to be on TV here, but Super Shoe, take me through those last couple laps. Could you have done anything different with this gear ratio that you guys chose?
It was hard to get going. It took me about 10 laps to get going, but I really hated that last caution because, you know, we were leading the show and he was burning tires off, but they caught that caution, put him back in the front, and they were a little bit better than I was on that short run, but you know, I hate to see what Brett's car is going to look like after everybody gets done retaliating on him because he don't drive anybody clean. Then he complains when everybody else drives him dirty. So hopefully it's clean the rest of the year, but knowing him, it probably won't be. But I just can't thank Virginia Motor Speedway and my dad, my mom. Good Lord, I can't thank everybody enough. It's just been I'm really proud of the way this team's running, and we've had some really good runs, and hopefully we can keep going the rest of the year. So close to victory here at this important racetrack. Can you put into words what it's like to just miss it? It's frustrating, you know, but it's a good point to say on the other hand. But, you know, we keep running like this. It's going to swing our way one of these times. So I'm just confident in that, and then we'll go to Iowa and see what we can do there. Hey, Mike, sounds like Moffitt may have a big old target on his car in that 07 headed right towards him.
Well, we'll see. LaJoie heads off to Stafford to race tomorrow at the Spring Sizzler this weekend in Connecticut. Brett Moffitt is your winner. Chase Elliott second. Corey LaJoie third for the second year in a row here. Kyle Larson, Brandon Godovic. Ben Kennedy with some damage at the checkers. Sixth, Brian Ortiz. Eddie McDonald. Sergio Pena, Michael McGuire, the top 10.
Yeah, Ben Kennedy, Chase Elliott again. All three races, all three top 10 finishes. Great starts to the season.
Jesse Little makes his series debut, finishing up 11th. Weller, Smith, Ransom, Arteaga, Contreras, Piquet, Presnell, Saunders, and Nassi, the top 20.
Going to be a big points hit for Darrell Wallace Jr. Came in here, and here's the point leader. Going to finish outside of the he's going to finish 28th right there.
Yep, and a tough debut for Travis Pastrana. Got turned around while battling, but he ran up front, ran in the top 5. Good outing.
Yeah, it was a good outing. It's going to really prepare him well for tomorrow's nationwide debut.
36-car field, that's how they ended up. Denny Hamlin waiting for the race that bears his name, and the Denny Hamlin Foundation will benefit tonight, and you can participate. We're going to tell you how in just a little while. Have a pencil and paper ready because you're going to want to be part of this tonight. Now let's join Steve Burns over at NASCAR Race Hub.